So just one question about this. In terms of investment income, let's say in the
Mhm.
hold co, how does that affect the small business deduction? Does it affect it at all, or the small business deduction is not affected by the type of income if it's like investment income or like active business income?
Okay, that's an absolutely amazing question. So
Mm-hmm.
you're right. The CRA changed the rules recently before a corporate group, which I know sounds unfair to anybody that's just starting in the corporate game of life, but basically and I forget the exact year, but I want to say it was something like 5 or 6 years ago now. Um, the CRA introduced a bill that basically affected your corporation's small business deduction, and that basically gets you to that 11% tax rate that I was referring to earlier. Um,
Mm-hmm.
if your company earns $50,000 of investment income, and it's, let's say, I know maybe that sounds a lot to some people, but if you have,
Mm-hmm.
let's say, $1 million in cash that's sitting in a
Mm-hmm.
GIC at today's interest rates,
Mm-hmm.
that's pretty much $50,000 right there. So
Yeah.
effectively, if you have $1 million of cash or real estate that is earning what it should be earning at today's dollars, chances are your small business deduction rate is coming into or maybe penalized. I should put it that way. And basically, how it
Okay.
works is any dollar between 50,000 and 100,000 or $150,000, it slowly grinds down your tax or your tax savings on that small business deduction. So up to
Oh.
150,000, if you earn $150,000 of passive investment income, you
Mm-hmm.
basically lose every tax savings on your small business deduction, and you're paying
Wow.
Yes, which is it's a painful thing. And it can happen even in 1 year. That's what some people
Mm-hmm.
don't realize. Let's say, for example, your investments aren't earning that much. You own a house
Mm-hmm.
that has grown over 10 years' time, and you decide to sell that house in your company, and it generates a capital gain of 200 or $300,000. That is where you've triggered a passive investment income of greater than 150,000, and all of a sudden you lose your tax savings in your operating company. So absolutely it affects your small business deduction holding investments.
Okay. So when you lose the small business deduction because you have had the investment income, do you lose it forever or just for the year that you maxed it out?
Amazing. So that is a great point. You don't lose it forever. You only lose it for that 1 year. There are other areas where you can potentially lose it, and it's more long lasting. And that's if your corporate group has assets of over $10 million. And there's a deep calculation in all this. And I know we're only talking to the very few that have managed to
Mm-hmm.
get to that point, but that is another area where
Mm-hmm.
you could potentially lose your small business deduction.
Mm-hmm.
Again, at that point too, I think you're probably okay to pay a little bit more in tax because
Yeah.
you've managed to grow your business successfully and you have some
Mm-hmm.
wealth in your name. But in this certain scenario where your passive income is over that $50,000 threshold, you only
Mm-hmm.
lose it for the 1 year.
Awesome.